Meanwhile, a video has now emerged that shows police officers in China shooting at people who are trying to escape from a quarantine center in the Hubei province, and this has now gone viral online. Recently, as the CGTN reporter Zhao Jianxin has been investigating the video, it appears was fabricated with what the Chinese state media is describing as malicious intent. Take a look.
This video has been circulating online and gaining traction. In it, what appeared to be men dressed in police uniform on the street holding guns, then the sound of loud bangs in the background. CGTN has not been able to verify the video that some online are claiming is evidence of police shooting at people in Hubei province. We decide to investigate. After a 3-hour drive from Wuhan, we arrive at a village that police say appears in the video. They say one segment is the aftermath of a traffic accident.
Around 2 p.m. on January 29th, the 15-year-old Liu took his cousin on a motorcycle passing by here. Because of bad driving, the vehicle rammed into the curb. As you can see, it's broken here.
Police say the incident happened in Wuzhou Township in Hubei province. The driver's cousin says he was also injured.
He sped up and lost control, ramming into the curb, and I had no idea what happened to the vehicle.
We rushed to the scene after the call and found a boy lying there with dilated pupils and no breath or pulse.
Separately, police in eastern China's Zhejiang province say the start of the video shows their officers on a different job.
On February 1st, we received an order from the Bureau Command Center asking us to help deal with the rabid dog which had been hurting people in the Futian neighborhood. 3 of our police officers, including me, went there with weapons and protective gear.
Police in Hubei province say they are investigating the source of the video. They say it's edited from multi-videos and warn of possible persecution. CGTN, Zhou Jiaxing in Huanmei.
Meanwhile, how is all of this impacting businesses within China and indeed around the world? Remember, China is, of course, India's largest bilateral trading partner. And as the coronavirus outbreak continues to stall factory work within China, the question, of course, is what is the impact of the coronavirus outbreak in terms of business for India? Now, since the year 2004, China has exported more goods to India than any other nation. In the year 2018, China accounted for nearly about 13.7% of India's imports. So if the supplies from China grinds to a halt, as it threatens to do because of the coronavirus outbreak, then this would trigger a scenario of extreme shortages in the Indian markets and by extension a pretty steep price rise. If we were to break down the Chinese import into various categories, the picture is even more worrying. Now take capital goods for example. Now these include the likes of machines and the technology that we import from China. Close to nearly about 40% of all Indian capital good imports come from China. Now disruption in the supply of capital goods will affect Indian producers who depend on machines and technology from across the border. Now China also accounts for nearly about 20% of consumer goods imports. These are goods that arrive ready for consumption on Indian shores. If the exports dry up, then the prices of common Chinese imports such as kitchenware and electronic equipment are likely to shoot up. Now on the export front, China accounts for nearly about 10% of all raw materials that India exports. Now Indian minerals, for example, feed into Chinese factories. If the Chinese factories remain shut, then India will of course have to look for other buyers for these goods.